So hi there guys, we have now made our way to GoPro, which is what I've been looking forward to the most. And you've got a familiar face. We spoke to you 2 years ago about the Hero 5, and now you have 3 new cameras to show me.
That's correct.
So let's start with the big one on everyone's mind, which is the Hero 7.
So this is the Hero 7 Black. We're really excited to show this one and present it. And today is actually the day it's available for the first time. So this is a very special day. And I'm excited to be able to show it to you.
So hit me with the big things.
Yes, I'd love to. You can tell I can just...
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to stop you. On you go.
So the biggest thing on this one and that we're super proud of is the stabilization. So we've basically taken everything a gimbal can do and built it into the camera. So not only do you save money by not having to buy a gimbal, but in a lot of situations you wouldn't be able to use a gimbal, like in very high winds or underwater. And now you have incredibly smooth footage, the best stabilization on any camera. And you don't have to have an extra gimbal with it.
And I'm assuming that's using the same technology from Fusion. Why Fusion's so it's super smooth. Like it's using that kind of
Fusion is also really smooth. This one's hyper smooth.
Well,
so
it's in the name.
This type of Thank you. See what we did there.
Exactly.
So this type of stabilization is really new to our camera lineup, and it's just a more intelligent way of analyzing the footage that we take and proactively stabilizing instead of just trying to counteract, so to say, the shakes.
I mean, when I first got the Hero 5 and then subsequently the Hero 6, I kept thinking this is the best image stabilization I've ever had because I love mountain biking, and it was like getting rid of like just that vibration went on, and I was like, how can they make this any better? And then I've seen it and I've seen the footage and I've seen the side by side, and I'm just like,
this is going to blow your mind.
I'm so excited to actually get my first play with it. But it's not just in the video mode, is it? It's now time warp.
Time warp, exactly. So we've also built it into a time-lapse function, and we call it the time warp. And it basically gives you an incredibly stabilized time-lapse, making activities that would take like a longer time, let's say a hike or cycling around town even, something that's not incredibly high, fast action. Another thing that Hypersmooth does is that it eliminates rolling shutter. So that's something that people would have seen if they mounted it on something that has very high vibration. So like a motorcycle or a car, and you would get the flowy image in the background.
Yeah, the jelly effect.
Yeah, jelly effect, exactly, rolling shutter. And this eliminates it. So there's a lot of people.
Exciting.
Yes, a lot of people have come back to us and we're super excited and saying that this is the first camera that can actually do that.
Well, GoPro's always been really popular with guys on motorbikes and track day racing, and that's usually like when we hear people thinking, oh, what would you want from a GoPro? I want rid of the jelly effect when I'm accelerating, and you've done it.
Done it.
And of course, it's not just in video; it's also in the new time warp.
Correct. So the incredible stabilization that we have on this camera also applies to our time lapse. So we have time warp is a very stabilized time lapse. So that means that any activity that's maybe taking a little bit of a longer time, that you do over a longer time span, like hiking or cycling around town, you can now accelerate it and have this incredible smooth accelerated time-lapse video that is very stabilized. So you should definitely try it out, like even walking around at trade shows, it look a lot more interesting.
Yeah, so definitely want to give that a try.
Do it.
And we're still not even halfway through, so live streaming for the first ever time.
Correct. I know, it's going to be a long list. I'm sorry about that.
We're okay.
So we have live streaming for the first time. You can stream what the camera is seeing straight online, like you can share with all you.
So that's Facebook Live from today.
Exactly.
And then I believe YouTube and Twitch and Vimeo.
So yes, basically Facebook is direct, so you connect the app to your Facebook account and then you can just stream right onto Facebook.
Straight through the GoPro app.
Yes, exactly. And for everything else, there's a code that is generated that you can then embed. And we're also talking to Instagram to make sure that that will be coming pretty soon, that you can stream live on Instagram. Yeah, I know, I can't wait for that. That's right. We haven't just focused on our video modes because the camera can also take incredible photos. And with this one, we've introduced what we call super photo.
Yeah.
So this means the camera has become a lot more intelligent in a lot of aspects, and one of them is photography. So and enables the user to not have to worry about WDR, HDR, color correction, white balance.
Yeah, it kind of analyzes the photo, this is my understanding, and then just like applies the best effects without you having to ask for it.
So it has scene recognition. So the camera knows, are you in snow, are you in a forest, are you underwater, and it'll adjust its algorithms to make sure that the best photo for that scene comes out in the end. And since we're here at a professional photography trade show, I'm also going to say that you can also switch that off, because I know that people who are more professional...
And it has raw photo as well. Like
that's correct. 6. It also has raw photo. So while the automatic mode is super interesting for users that are more beginners in photography, because they don't want to have to worry about all that stuff.
You also have the Pro, which is what I've always loved about GoPro, that you have the options to go very, very basic, very beginner, and just let the camera do all the work. And then with ProTune and being able to turn all the automatic stuff off, it's having that one solution for everyone, which is great. And we're still not done, because you've even improved the telemetry. Like, it's got new GPS, it can add all the stickers and stuff.
That's right. So you can in your quick app that automatically does your quick stories, and you have the little edits. I don't even know where to start. There's so much to talk about. But you can add telemetry, and they'll show you how far, how fast, how long.
How many G's you've pulled in a certain turn.
Exactly.
I did that mountain biking, and I was like pulling a G once. I was like, how did I measure that? Oh yeah, that's when I fell.
Oh.
That's when I fell and hit the ground.
Yeah, well,
not just the black though. We also have the white and the silver. So a whole selection of cameras, a whole range.
Yes.
So these are a little bit different, slightly different aim in the market.
So yes, we basically, what we did was we went back to what we're really best at, is to enable people to tell stories in the least complicated and best way possible. Yeah. So when we looked at how most people use their cameras, we noticed that a lot of people, for example, don't ever change the factory setting of the cameras. So what does that mean? That means that people basically want to push the shutter button
and let the camera do it.
Let the camera do it, and then just have amazing footage out in the end.
Yeah.
And so that's why we introduced these two cameras. So the white is
so that's the white.
That is the white. There
so that's your entry.
Entry. If you want a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more technology, that's going to be the silver.
And I love the improved interface. I love the swiping and the fact that you can swipe up to get into.
Yeah, there's no photos on there yet.
Yeah, there is.
Oh look, of your hand.
Of my hand.
That's amazing. And yeah, it's become a lot more intuitive too. You have, for example, instead of before, you had to know how slow motion works. You had to know that there's such a thing even as frame rates, and a lot of people don't even want to think about it that much. So now there's a little snail icon. If you want a slow motion, you tap on the snail, and it'll record in a way that it'll give you a slow motion video, like it does on the iPhone, for example, or on your smartphone.
And one of my favorite features from the 6, the touch zoom bar. So you can actually zoom in and out, and I love that. That's just really handy. So what does the silver have that the white does not?
So it has a couple of more features and more power, so to say. So it has wide dynamic range, it has a GPS chip, and you can also shoot in 4K, which you can't on the white, because this is truly like a, 4K footage also means you have to have more processing power, and the editing is a little bit more tricky. So this is really the entry level. If you all you want is push the shutter button.
This is dipping your toe in the GoPro world.
Exactly, but it'll give you good results. Like it's a camera that's fine, but if you want, this gives you more information. Like you have the telemetry you can use with this.
This is for your frequent but casual GoPro user.
Exactly.
And then this is for your, I just want the best quality possible. And it's a good looking range, and I like that for the first time.
Hang on, look at it. The colors are actually corresponding to the colors of the camera.
Yeah, because that's always like, oh, I like the silver one, but they're all silver. I want the black one. There's no black one. Yeah, there is actually a white, a silver, and a black.
Well, it's kind of white-ish.
White-ish. So thank you very much. I'm going to make these disappear. No, I'm going to give them back. I'm going to give them back.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your photo.
Thank you very much. Bye.
And I have got Josh here, and he's going to talk us through the Crane 3 Loud Point, which, to my understanding, is brand new, right?
Yes, it's actually a prototype, and we plan to launch this at the end of November of this year.
Cool.
So yeah, we're really excited because this is actually a complete redesign of any traditional gimbal. Traditional gimbals are usually designed to just hold it upright.
Yep.
Right, so we added this handle here, which when the full production model comes out, it will be adjustable. So you'll be able to handhold the gimbal like this to get extra low angle shots, so you won't have to go into inverted mode anymore. So literally it takes 1 second to go down low to the ground. And also we're introducing a secondary servo motor, which means that you can control both focus and zoom. So you can see here we have two motors, one here controlling the zoom or focus, and then the other one here is controlling the actual zoom. So both motors will be working, so you can actually create dolly zoom effects and you can control focus at the same time.
That's wicked.
Yeah, and then we also, one of the biggest features is it has a newly improved 4.5 kilogram payload capacity. So you can mount cinema grade cameras like Blackmagic's, Ursa Mini Pro's, C200 from Canon, FS5 Mark II from Sony. So that all is compatible with this gimbal. It's going to be able to hold that weight. We also have an 18-hour runtime.
Nice.
So compared to our original Crane 2, it has the same runtime. We're still putting it through some tests, so we might actually get more runtime out of this gimbal when the production model comes out. We also have a wireless transmission system built into the gimbal, so you can actually see what your capture is seeing via your phone. And you can also tap to focus on your phone. You can control gimbal parameters, and you can control camera parameters as well via the phone. So we also have a control panel in the back here that's able to control gimbal parameters and control camera parameters such as ISO, aperture, shutter speed. So that's all available to us via this LCD screen right here that will constantly also give you battery data, so you'll know exactly how much juice you have left before running out. So that is the Crane 3 Lab.
Fantastic.
In a nutshell. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Josh.
Yes, of course.
It looks amazing, I've got to say.
Yeah? You want to hold it?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay, it's not actually as heavy as I was expecting it to be, so that's always a bonus.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just going to bash the camera about there while I do that. I like it, Josh, it's nice.
Awesome, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries.
Gimbal solution, then we've got the Weeble as well. Super easy, one-handed, no sweat. Control panel, the little tripod that I'm using as a handle comes off and it can be on the bottom as well, just like a more traditional one. And you've got the wireless transmission for picture from your mobile phone as well. Oh man, that's a great photo of me.
It's a perfect photo of you.
Damn it. How am I going to do that again?
Hang on, I'll do this so the eyes are out of the equation.
1, 2, 3. Still look good in it.
Oh, I look identical. Love it.
And then I'll submit. Goes to the printer.
So this is the end of our second day here at Photokina, and we're in front of the collage wall that DJI are making, which is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
So we're going to put our stickers up in a second, but we've had a really fun day here. We've been doing quite a lot of things. We've seen some major people.
Major people?
I mean, Fujifilm.
Yep, Fujifilm, definitely. That was probably a highlight for me today, I think. And I
love
can probably
that Instax.
guess, yeah, Instax all day, every day. I can probably guess your major highlight. Oh, major highlight.
Yeah, definitely GoPro. So glad to finally get my hands on with the Hero 7, and we've been here for 2 full days now. We have walked in excess of 20,000 steps. How much do you reckon we've seen? Maybe a quarter?
Probably, yeah, not even scratched the surface.
There's just so many people here, and we have. We're going to be back again tomorrow. So comment below on what you've enjoyed from this video, and I believe our stickers are now here, so we can now put up.
So this one you get to put up on the board. So you want to find the matching column and row number.
Awesome. So while Lizzie does that,
in case if anyone cares, I look great in this photo.
So this is what we look like. And this is our part of the big collage. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.